Hi there, Chris, and everyone at the Spurs Chat podcast. It's me, Pat Nevin here. Yes, formerly of Chelsea and Everton. But I'm thinking about the Everton game coming up against Tottenham. And it's going to be a very intriguing game. Two very different styles coming together. I've been down to Spurs a couple of times this season. I was at the game recently against Newcastle United, and I thought it was absolutely incredible. Spurs back to being the new Spurs, which Ange Postecoglou, which every Spurs fan knows, has been absolutely phenomenal. It's been brilliant to watch. Doesn't matter who you support, they have been fantastic to watch. And of course, the stadium itself, with the noise and the Tottenham fans behind, it's actually incredible. I go around and watch a lot of matches for my job with Radio 5 Live, and you see some special atmospheres, but the atmosphere at Tottenham just now is unbelievable, and it's helping. It's really helping the team. Yeah, it's a symbiotic thing. It's coming from the Spurs fans, but it's coming from the team. It's coming from the manager, and it's all working together. Yeah, there was a little blip, particularly after the Chelsea game, but I think everybody knows what that was mostly about. That was the sending offs and the difficulty of that. But now most of the teams back and playing together, it looks just back to normal again. The Ange thing's so exciting. Watched them all his time up at Celtic, and when Tottenham got Ange Postecoglou as a manager, a lot of people weren't sure about it, and I was telling everyone who would listen to me, especially friends that are Spurs fans, you're going to love this. It's not always going to work perfectly, but boy, you're going to love it, because it's great fun watching Ange's team. So yeah, loving watching Spurs at the moment, and I'm a huge fan of Ange Postecoglou and have been for a long, long time. Actually, before the time he actually got to Chelsea, I'd been Celtic, because I'd actually watched him his career a little bit before that. I'd worked in BBC World Service and I'd been told a bit about him, so I suspect he's only going to get better and better with Ange. So big game, everyone is a big game, but it's Everton this time. Now Everton, we all know, very different style. They're kind of hard team to play against, but at the moment they are on a stunning run. I was recently at Goodison for a number of games, and the passion showed by the players at the moment is incredible. Usually in these games there's lots of things to consider, but at the moment the run that Everton are on, 19 points I think it is out of the last 24, that's a team that's supposed to be struggling. No, they're not. They're phenomenal at the moment. That run gets you easy European place and maybe even pushing in the top four, had they done that from the start of the season. And obviously the slight consideration of the 10 points, which of course has actually brought the club together in a way that they weren't together beforehand, which is extraordinary to see them do that. So I'm very, very happy for Sean Dyche. Very different type of manager, very different type of team, but certainly a team that has got the passion that you want to see if you're an Evertonian. So I'm enjoying what I'm seeing there. In the last 4 games that Everton have played, won all 4, no goals conceded. That tells you something about Everton. They will fight and they will chase, and they know how to defend and they know how to work as a group. And because they've got most of their big players back, and if you look at the midfield, Garner and Anna sometimes in there as well, but certainly Doucouré above everyone else. Doucouré has been off the scale this season. Very much a player that you watch him 1 week usually, and he's world class, and you watch him the next week and you think, are you actually on the pitch, mate? Not this season. Sean Dyche is getting the very best out of him. You stick Dominic Calvert-Lewin on top of that, the way that he's been playing, certainly a player that you thought would get injured all the time, but Sean's got much more out of him. So a whole group that's working together incredibly well. So this is, as I say, 2 very, very different styles. Spurs are much more open style. The first game I was seeing Spurs this season was against Manchester United, and I think most Spurs fans, in fact, I'll tell you a little story. While I was watching that game, I was so moved by it that this year, at the end of the year, I was asked by the BBC to put my favourite changing moment of the season in the entire Premier League, and not the season, of the year, of the calendar year, and it was that game. It was that game for me, because that was a game you thought, oh my God, we put Basuma and Sarr in there together, and they just wiped the floor with Manchester United. And there were good players in that Manchester United midfield, but they absolutely trashed them. But it was more than that, not just what was happening on the pitch. I looked around me, and the reaction of the Spurs fans of, whoa, what have we got here? So twice I've been down has been fantastic. But this is another different type of challenge, and it'll be a cracker of a game to be at. It's going to be, I would imagine, you'd expect Spurs to score goals. Everton maybe don't score a lot of goals, they don't lose goals. So it's a really, really tough one to predict. I think it will be quite tight. I actually wouldn't be surprised at something like a 3-2 or a 2-2. Obviously Spurs are favourite for this because it's a home game, but it's going to be very tight. But as ever with Spurs, I expect there to be goals. So between the 3-2 and the 2-2, well, I could go with my head or my heart. I'm going to go with my heart. I'll go for a 2-2. No surprises there. Good luck, anyone, to everyone at Spurs Chat Podcast, and I hope the season continues fantastically well, because teams that play the way Ange Postecoglou's teams play, they are worth watching, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you love football, you'll love watching Ange's teams. Good luck.